What does this loss mean for Darren Rizzi? The Rizzi era started off so hot, and this was the first real gut punch to that. So, what does this mean going forward?
I mean, it did take all the wind out of the sails. I mean, it felt like there was some magic involved, and the magic has gone away. Now he just looks like a coach coaching a bad team that has been super depleted by injuries. And there's only so much a coach can do to get past that. So he looks so much more human than he did before. Now, look, I stand by what I've thought all along. He gets 8 games as interim coach. If he goes 7-1, he'll get the job. If he goes 5-3 or worse, he's not going to get the job. And 6-2 makes it like 50-50. So yeah, if he comes back and only loses one more game and gets a win against the Packers or Washington or Tampa, it's not over for him. It's not over for him until he loses at least that second game. But he's going to. This team is just not good enough. This team is not good enough to finish 7-1. They're not good enough to be that consistent. Bad things are going to happen. They even if they had a decent plan and they put themselves in position for this to be a one-score game, if they're going to play that high wire act, they're going to lose 2 or 3. They're going to lose half their games. And so I like what Rizzi has brought to this team, but you have to be a miracle worker to go 7-1 with this team, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it really depends on, do they want to talk themselves into him or not? I really think that's going to be the key thing. If they want to talk themselves into him, I don't think this game really changes anything per se. If they are kind of like, well, it needs to be proven to me, you need to make a case and convince me, then I think it's a hit. Especially because it's a game that was winnable. Like, you didn't lose one where you got like smoked. Like, this was a winnable game, and if it slipped through your fingers, that ends up being a big deal. In this, I could see this being a situation where they wanna find reasons to keep everyone together. That's been in their DNA, and until we see just kind of like a willingness to kind of step completely away from everything that they've done up until this point. I think that's on the table. So I think they probably want to, see him succeed. Why wouldn't you? Like that? That's kind of the outcome you're looking for. So I don't think that. I don't think necessarily that it's like a death knell, but I agree with what you're saying. That I think it should be a big hit. Like it obviously I think is a big hit. I think it's a big hit in the dose that like the reality of the situation I think is going to come. I bet they win next week, and then I think Commanders Packers are really tough.
Yeah. And
the Bucs game could get away from them. The Raiders are looking a little bit, I don't know, feisty, so to speak. They just play. I guess everybody's playing Kansas City well though, so I don't know if you put any stock into that. But I think this is a dose of reality, and I think it's just gonna. It's what you said there, an injured team with an interim coach playing out the stretch of a lost season. At some point, reality comes back. And I think once reality comes back and there's that second loss, I think at that point it's just, the hope of the playoffs are gone. The weight of the season starts to feel in the locker room. The blinders that the Rizzi move and the DA firing put on everything kind of start to go away. And it's just like, all right, like, let's get this thing over with. I think there's a risk of hitting that point, and that's going to happen to any bad team. And I think that's what this signifies, that, okay, the whole magic and whatever, like, that wasn't ever real.
It was a huge missed opportunity, too. Like, I don't think this shows, like, exposed him as not capable of doing the job or anything like that. But he missed an opportunity to have a signature win, to get one game back in the NFC South and have everyone start talking about the possibility of being in the division race. Now he is going to be coaching a team that's not really in the division race anymore, and even a win next week against the Giants won't feel very meaningful as a result. I will say this though, I had said, as the founding member of the Clint Kubiak bandwagon, staying on it throughout everything, I'd said the offense thriving could help support Rizzi's case if they wanted to keep this whole staff together, if they got the offense humming. This was a big step back for the offense today. They had no answers today. And so I think if any of the Rizzi equation was, hey, let's keep this thing rolling because we finished strong, we found our offense, Carr's playing great in this offense, let's keep it all together. This was a really, really, really disappointing day for the offense. It just looked like they had absolutely nothing that they could go to. If they don't hit that, very, low percentage, high reward deep pass to Valdez-Scantling that's kind of bailed them out every week. They had nothing today.
Two things. Going to this Tankathon chart. First off, yes, I do think the Saints are going to win next week against the Giants. But the Saints are also on this list. You can't be with 75 cents in your pocket calling somebody with a quarter broke. You just can't do it. So the Raiders, I'm not automatically, you said they're playing scrappy. I'm not automatically chalking that up as a win because you never know how they're going to come into the building. They might be fighting for their coach. The Giants, they got a lot going on. They're on their third-string quarterback. I don't know if DeVito Magic is going to come back next week. He might, they all from New Jersey, him and Rizzi, so they might just be passing it around up and down the state. Who knows?
They had Drew Lock last week. Was that because of injury or just because of the move? Okay.
Yeah.
And they lost Dexter Lawrence, who's probably their best player, too.
Yeah, so the New York is experiencing the same problems, but, I mean.
Good for them. Work that draft status, man. Move up.
Lean into it, yeah. And so Cleveland played them already, beat them already. We'll see what they do tomorrow against Denver and how that shakes things up. But my second point is with this, in terms of going after a coach this offseason, you tweeted about it earlier after the Bengals lost. The talent on their team, future-wise, supersedes the Saints. So on this list, a lot of these places already have fired their coach, but, shakeup-wise, how attractive is the Saints' job? You don't have to go too deep into it because we already kind of talked about it, but just eye test.
Well, I mean, like relative to the other people on this list, like I'd rather have Jacksonville. I'd rather have New England. I'd rather have I don't know. Bryce Young's looking okay. Like maybe
Carolina not coming open.
Maybe Carolina. If it worked, yeah. I mean,
pump the brakes.
I mean,
yeah.
but like just if you're picking them, like that one might. I wouldn't say never. Tepper's a wild dude.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, it's not gonna come open. But I mean, Carolina, if it did, I would probably. I don't know. It depends on Bryce Young the rest of the way. Like all of a sudden, he looks like salvageable a little bit. I don't know. It's been kind of weird. That might be it. That might be it on that list. The Browns.
Well, I mean, you would rather have the Bengals job, but we.
Well, yeah.
Obviously.
I mean, that's below. But yeah, the Bengals job, obviously. The Browns, they aren't free of that Watson situation yet.
No.
I don't know what the Titans are doing. Maybe their cap situation would allow you to go there. It's tough. It just really depends on what you value. But I don't know what you're hanging your hat on with the Saints right now.
Yeah.
It's a tough spot. I don't know. I'm losing faith in the roster rapidly. Every now and then you're looking at it and you're like, maybe they could add to it and find a way to do it. But I'm losing faith in it. I'm just ready for a new direction, honestly. Kind of the whole thing. And to your point,
that's what today did. I mean, when we said it got rid of the magic, like if you're starting to talk yourself into, this winning thing is fun. What if they win, 6 of their last 8? What if they get in the division race? But this just like slapped it right back to where it was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
no, they're still the 4-18 that's lousy.
It had me like losing my grip on reality for a little bit. I was always Mr. like just lose the games. What's the point of trying to win them? And then like it starts to be okay. They won 2. Let's see where this goes. This is fun to see how it plays out. It's more enjoyable. Obviously it's not the best thing for the long term health of the team, but it could be a fun little story. So who cares? Like just lose the games. Like really, that's where it's at. And look, if Rizzi goes on a run and makes the playoffs, wins the job, all that, it's a cool story.
Cool.
It's a cool story, and I'm okay with it. I'm not against that happening. But at this point, it just feels like I would feel better about the team if they were pick 4.
Buccaneers are going to be in first place by the end of next week when the Falcons lose at the Vikings and the Buccaneers beat the Raiders. Yeah, I mean, if the Saints beat the Giants and they somehow got within 1 game of first place and, then you'll be like, all right, can you go win in Green Bay? Can you go win in Washington? Get that magic back? But it's just this was a reality check today for sure.